Hello. Post-workout here on Tuesday. Tuesdays are my cardio day, which I like to focus on jumping rope and hitting the bag. Just continuing to just keep my striking skills up that I've acquired for 20 years. Nothing really, I'll say, scheduled. It's kind of freestyle sort of striking and things like that. But yeah, today I jumped rope for about 15, 16 minutes. I've been going anywhere from 20 to 30 on average. I recently hit 45, which was cool to know that I have that in me. And I realize I have an hour in me. But with all my sort of other workouts and how I have them scheduled, I feel like it would cause too much discomfort in my feet and legs to be able to do my other sort of workouts the following days. So I've kind of capped myself out, but it was just kind of a good measuring, good high water mark, I'll say. It was funny. I came back, I did my OMAD today, my one meal a day, just a little bit of beef, some bone broth, 6 eggs that was cooked in butter, and a little bit of avocado or garlic infused avocado oil, and some no sugar yogurt that I took a young coconut, and just kind of took the meat out of it with some cocoa nibs and some Himalayan pink salt. So not a lot of carbs. I woke up this morning really early. I kind of woke. I think it was 3:53 in the morning, and I realized I was up. I could have gone back to bed, but sometimes when I do that, I feel like I sleep longer and I don't feel as good. I feel drowsier. So I just decided, all right, I'm up. So I had a really good meditation, sort of affirmation session, and then also a really nice breathing exercise, Wim Hof inspired breathing, which I have done now for a while and is really cool. If it's something you've never done, I strongly recommend. There's all kinds of videos too that you can find the one that suits you for where you're at. It becomes pretty profound when you can actually not hold your breath, but actually be without breath for 3 minutes. It's pretty amazing. Time seems to stop. Something occurs. We start to get on the line between the physical world and I'll call it the ethereal. Right on that cusp. We're kind of breaking through that veil in those times. It's very cool. But either way, and then I got up, went for a nice long walk. I actually did 2 walks today, one after my workout, one this morning. So I think I've walked like 7 miles today, which is really nice. Had some coffee. Had a couple cups of coffee. I kind of needed it. I was kind of a little tired before I went to my workout. But so yeah, I came back. I've been eating around 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. For me, that seems to work. I can hold out from that time. I don't like to eat too late. For me, eating late is not the. I just don't feel that good, and I also like to be empty during the day, especially when I'm doing my workout. So either way, yeah, I've come back, and I was actually listening to a couple different podcasts today, and Joe Rogan Experience kicked up. I think it's episode 2172 is what I'm looking at. Sebastian Younger, and it was pretty neat because I want to say it was around the 7.5 minute mark. He starts to describe something that I've experienced in my life, that I have done in relationships, especially my romantic relationships, and even relationship with my daughter, and I'll say even in the past too with some of my siblings, where He calls it kind of flatlining on emotions when things start to escalate. My siblings are all, I have nothing but sisters, obviously my daughter, and my past relationships are girlfriends. Where when things start to become emotional and escalate, I just kind of become, he calls it flatlining. I would say maybe, to use the term loosely, stoic, where I kind of try to get really in control of my emotions, separate that, and not let it escalate when the other person starts to rise that tension, I'll say. I don't like escalation. I don't like confrontation, especially when it comes to people that I love, especially women, for all kinds of reasons. I don't think it's right. You know, I'm a 220-pound, 6 foot tall man, and you know, all my girlfriends, you know, have been very, you know, smaller, slender, things like that. Obviously, you know, my daughter, which is a little bit different. My daughter, always throughout my life, I've always been very subdued, I'll say, in how I approach her. Just that love that I have for her is different than any other sort of love I've ever experienced with anybody else in my life. And anybody that has kids can kind of, I feel like, relate to that. But it was neat because they were describing something that I haven't really been able to articulate, but saying it in a way where it just made sense. And I just kind of wanted to share it because I thought it was good. Again, it's episode 2172. I want to say it's around the 7.5 minute mark where they start to talk about this for anybody that can relate to it. But when things start to become, I'll say, irrational, things like that, I always am trying to just work through that or create solutions or not allow our emotions to overcome us. And it seems like that has never really been the case. There always seems to be this escalation of emotions from the opposite side. But it was neat because he was saying that also can be provocative. It can also not kind of help in that situation when somebody is like that. And so a lot of times it's like I would kind of want to avoid the situation. It'd be called like avoidant. It's not avoidant in a bad way. It's in the moment. It's like nothing is going to resolve itself if the emotion starts to escalate. And we all know that once you start to match the frequency of energy with the other person, things blow up. Things get worse. There's no resolution. But at the same time, if you're not on the same frequency, if they either can't get to your frequency of calm and you can't get to your, nothing will occur. So it's one of those things. I actually explained this to one of my exes after we had gone this confrontation where she was getting so heated and stuff like that, and I was just kind of, you know, in this calm, and it seems like I don't care and stuff like that. It's not that I don't care. It's not that I'm not listening. I told her, it's like, listen, if you are a 120-pound woman and things are getting emotional and we all have anger, let's say from the scale of 1 to 10, everybody has anger. Everybody. You're not special if you get angry, you know. And I told her, it's like, if my level 1 is bigger than your level 1, my level 3 is bigger than your level 3. My level, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is bigger than yours. What occurs at level 10? Level 10, violence occurs. Level 10, destruction occurs. Whether it's through a physical means to somebody else or through property or whatever. And then what? And then where are we? You know, cops get called. Things start to get to a point to where lives are ruined or just drastically halted or halted for long periods of time because of that lack of control. You know, and I feel like just as a man, in having the capacity that I do have, like just all men, regardless of how angry you are or not, it is really up to us. It's up to our discretion. It's up to our ability to control ourselves, because we lead, and because our levels of anger through 1 through 10 will always be more extreme than our female counterparts. That's just a reality. And so, for those of you that are watching this, I encourage you to actually look at that. This is something you can resonate with and understand. Because anytime something starts to go along that lines, I really try to become rational. It's like, how can we resolve this? How can we get out of the emotional state? Because again, emotions are not going to, you can't resolve things in emotions or through emotions. You have to get past that and then think logically. But a lot of times I just want to get past it, in the moment. And it's not me suppressing somebody else's emotions, but it's also me not gearing up to match theirs. And it has been taken in this way that seems like I'm indifferent or apathetic or whatever it might be to what is occurring, which is not the case. It's more just, I don't know, it's like I don't even think it's a defense mechanism. I think it's more just kind of getting in the zone. It's like when something escalates, especially with somebody that you love, it's different than a stranger or whatever. I feel like it's, for most people, it could be far easier to escalate towards that level of violence or destruction or just escalated tensions and emotions, which will typically lead to negative when it's a stranger, because you're like, whatever, who's this guy? Screw you, this and that. But that's not really an option, is it? When it comes to somebody that you care about and love and live with and you share all these things. It's like there has to be that. I will say in retrospect on some of these that there has come a sense of understanding what's occurred and apologies and things like that. And which is good. I have said to one of my exes that it's like, I wish that we wouldn't keep going through these cycles. I don't want you to apologize to me anymore. I just don't want you to continue to repeat what it is that you've been doing, So, yeah, I just felt like I wanted to share that. I just felt like that was kind of, it came up and it's, I was watching it and I wanted to make this little video here about my post-workout and everything I'm doing, but I just felt like for those that can take something from that, I think it's good. I think it's important for us to understand and to maybe also know that although somebody might not like our calmness, I'll say, or our remaining in I'll call it a mental serene sort of state at the time when they're emotional, that's not our fault. We're actually doing the right thing, and hopefully, God willing, that they will come to that same sort of conclusion later on once they've calmed down. But we also have to be careful, I feel like, what is their intention in doing it? Is it just them being frustrated and not being able to regulate, or are there other sort of underlining, we'll call them currents, right, of manipulation and things like that, or testing, that if that is the case, that's not good. That's not a good thing. So either way, I'll leave it at that. Internet is back up. I'm excited. Looking to really ground myself here in this next weekend and share. I feel like I like it when I fast. I like it when I'm in a meditative sort of praying state, and it'll be cool to have gone through my first week of being really regimented with my one meal a day, high protein, fat, minimalistic carbs. I mean, the amount of carbs that you get through coconut meat and raw cacao nibs is essentially nothing. I know it's not pure carnivore and all this sort of stuff, but at the same time, I feel like there are certain things that I want to incorporate and still incorporate just for overall health and what it gives me. So, with that said, I wish you all a good day. Tomorrow I got chest and triceps and abs. I look forward to that workout. I'm going to kind of push myself here. I've been doing a lot more hypertrophy training when it comes to my lifting, just because I've acquired some of that strength and all that. I kind of think push myself tomorrow, maybe do 5x5s for my chest, which I usually start off incline, flat, decline, and then I will do some cable flies, or not even flies necessarily, but cable, I'll call them cable pushes, which I also go incline, decline, or incline, flat, decline, and then some flies, and then my abs. But yeah, I feel like I'm gonna go to bed early again tonight, get up early again. I actually like that. It was really nice to get up at that early morning, do the meditations, do my affirmations, breathing exercises, go for that walk. I thought that was a really good start to the day. So I just kind of want to continue that earlier in the day. I think there's something to that. So either way, I wish you the best blessings, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.